through. Now it's time to get into our next session. Listen, our next panel is going to bring us into a conversation with the one and only Sanjiv Khurana, General Manager of Connectivity Services Group at Daimler Trucks and Buses. And listen, it's a mouthful of a title because Sanjiv is not only an incredibly experienced professional in this space, but he is also so fun to talk to. So I know you're going to have a great time learning from him. We all know that Daimler has a huge presence in the Portland metropolitan area as a global company that employs hundreds of people with significant operations here in our community. So we wanted to give a shout out to them. It's my pleasure to now introduce the one and only Anthony Effinger, an experienced journalist who's written for Bloomberg and Willamette Week, and the host of an incredible podcast. You got to go check it out, Think Neuro from the Pacific Neuroscience Institute. He and Sanjiv are going to be exploring the topic together, transportation, a digital revolution. So stay tuned. They're going to join us in just a second. And don't forget to share what you learn and ask questions. I'll see you for our next main stage speech.
Hey, this is Anthony. I'm really happy to be here today with Sanjiv. I want to note, first of all, that Freightliner has been in the Portland area. It was founded here in 1929. And research shows that some of the strongest companies in the world are born during recessions. Microsoft, Cisco, there's a lot of examples. And if you were born in 1929 as a company and you've made it this far, that's quite an accomplishment. And we're really happy to have Sanjiv here. And welcome, Sanjiv.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Could we start by having you tell us a little bit about your career?
Sure. Yeah, I've been with Daimler Trucks North America for about over 20 years. As you mentioned, when I first started here, our company was called Freightliner, and we changed our name recently or in the past few years. So I've really had a long, interesting career at the company. And the past few years, I've been involved in the connectivity space. So really excited to be here to talk about that.
So how long have you been with Freightliner?
Over 20 years. So it's been a very interesting journey for me personally, because the company is quite large and global in nature. I've had a chance to work in different parts of the world. I had a chance to work in India for a while, and of course I've been in Portland here, back and forth a few times. So really a very interesting company to work for, and really again excited to be here.
So you had an announcement on November 11th. Your job changed a lot that day, and I think what we're going to be talking about is maybe the internet of the biggest things. Trucks, right?
Yeah, exactly. So for us, connected trucks, our connectivity has been a kind of ongoing journey. It started a few years ago, and if you can imagine, everything else around us is getting connected. Trucks are no different, and it really started for the truck side a few years ago when we wanted to get fault codes from the trucks over the air, and that's where this journey with connectivity started. And kind of from there, we've evolved quite a bit all the way today, where we use connectivity for a lot of different products and services. We'll talk about that, and really we're excited to see connectivity as a foundation for a lot of new technologies. And as we say, connectivity is a foundation for not only our current trucks, but in the future with e-mobility, e-trucks, autonomous trucks. All of that is going to be driven by connectivity.
You said it started with fault codes. What are those?
Well, yeah, in the old days, let's say, in the old days, meaning 10, 12 years ago even, a lot of our customers and dealers would have wanted to know what's happening with their trucks. And one of the interesting use cases for connectivity, and the very first examples of connectivity, was really transmitting information about the truck, the fault codes, meaning if there's something going wrong with the truck, to know what's happening with that while the truck is running down the road and before it shows up at the dealership. And that's where this started. So that's kind of the journey, the beginning journey of connectivity.
So what does a connected truck look like today?
Well, in many ways, it's an evolution. As I mentioned, the original concept for very simple data to be streamed off the truck, and all the way to today, when we look at starting in 2017, we really started to change the architecture of the truck, the electrical architecture of the truck, to take advantage of connectivity. And connectivity in that way really means a lot more than simple information coming off the truck. So what we do is we embed a telematics device or a connected truck device into the truck, which is part of the electrical architecture. So it's really interacting. And it's not just one-way communication anymore, it's two-way communication. So not only can we extract information from the truck and transmit it, but we can interact with the truck the other way as well. And so we have a lot of new products and services where our customers can update different elements of the truck over the air. And that's really exciting because it's not just information coming off the truck, it's how our customers, our fleet managers can update the trucks as they're running down the road.
So it's like updating your laptop or your phone over the air.
Yeah, in many ways it is. And the big difference is for a lot of consumer devices, it's, obviously everyone is used to having their phone updated. But for a device, if you will, a truck is a tool, a business tool. So in that case, there is a real value to our customers being able to update their trucks. I mean, I can give you an example of that. So for example, if some of our customers are managing trucks in different parts of the country, and as you know, the speed limits might be different. So if they've got trucks running in California, they may want to adjust the maximum speed limit to, let's say, 60 miles per hour, and they can do that over the air now. And whereas in the past, they would have to bring the trucks in, get them updated at a dealership. And by having the trucks being updated over the air, you can avoid the cost of the trucks coming in and the downtime that is associated with that. So it really is a very strong business value behind the solution that we're providing.
Does that mean if a truck's going from, say, California to Nevada and the speed limit changes, you could do it on the fly like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some within, of course, we have to be cautious about safety. So we don't want to change the speed limit when the truck itself is running and change the speed over the air. But what that means is, as the driver crosses the state lines, the next time they turn the key on, their maximum speed limit will be different, so that they can then, safely drive and be within the local speed limits. That's an example. And again, there are other examples of our drivers being able to adjust different aspects of the truck, or the fleet managers. So a speed limit is one example, but there are lots of other parameters that we can also adjust over the air for our trucks.
Can I get that for my teenage children, both of whom have learner's permits right now?
Yeah, probably would be a good idea to do that, right? I mean, this is one of those technologies which has kind of made the evolution from cars to trucks, and you can see many examples of how this could be applied in different ways as well.
What is the ecosystem for connected trucks in terms of companies that are providing the tools to connect trucks, and where does Daimler play in that ecosystem?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, what we see is there are a lot of different applications for connectivity and connected trucks, and the technology of how this has evolved over the years. And it's for us as a truck OEM, we have a couple of different areas that we want to be very strong in. So first and foremost, we look at connectivity and connected trucks as a way to improve our customers' experience with our trucks. I mean, the examples we just talked about, or our customers being able to remotely diagnose what's happening with their trucks, or being able to update certain parameters, those are clearly ways our customers can benefit by having a stronger customer experience and increase their efficiency, safety, and all of that. So that's one aspect of connectivity. But clearly, there's a lot more to it. And as you know, in these days with the freight tech, the truck is an integral part of that freight, the freight logistics chain, and therefore we also are participating actively in ensuring that the truck is connected to the ecosystem. And there are a lot of different companies out there, obviously, telematics companies, which offer a lot of services. And for us, as a truck OEM, the objective is to make sure our truck has kind of an open platform where we can connect to a variety of different partners and a variety of different technologies. So our customers can then enjoy the best technology that they want to use to manage their business. A lot of our customers obviously are in different industry verticals, whether it's logistics or off-highway applications. What we want to do is make sure that the data coming off the truck is valuable to them, and that data is connected to whatever their operations are. And so from that perspective, we view ourselves as an enabler for our customers to be able to connect their trucks to their business operations. And there we have a lot of different applications that we are looking at and participating in. So really, that's really the focus area for us as well. And as a truck OEM, it's important for us to make sure that first and foremost, our customers can really have a great customer experience with our trucks, and the trucks are safe and provide that level of efficiency. At the same time, again, connect to whatever business operations or technologies they want the trucks to be part of.
So that you can sort of have a Daimler app store for the trucks, sort of like a phone or a computer.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that's not too far from the reality. So, again, there's just a difference between a consumer device and a B2B device, or a business tool like a truck. And here, what we want to do is basically allow our customers to pick and choose which applications they want to run. Today there is a lots of different apps that our customers are using, whether it's a driver in the truck or a fleet manager in the back office. Examples are like, the drivers have to manage their hours of service, for example. And so that's something we can enable right in the truck, so that the driver knows exactly how many hours they have left on their duty cycle. Similarly, our customers in the back office would want to be able to connect the truck to a variety of different maintenance systems or to their operational systems. And again, what we're doing is we're allowing our customers to be able to pick and choose those applications directly from the truck. And that's where connectivity takes that next leap, because now with this new technology, we kind of enable that platform on the truck as it leaves the factory, and then our customers can pick and choose what applications they want to be active and how they want to use those applications.
Wow, so the App Store analogy isn't that far off.
No, it isn't. I mean, and the App Store really exists in a couple of different places. In our case, one is, you can imagine the dashboard of the truck having a set of apps, but that's the basic level. But in another more important way, the App Store exists with our customers' back office, where they can pick and choose different, as I mentioned, different safety or efficiency or logistic applications they want to run using the data from the truck.
How much in the monitoring of the truck are you monitoring the driver?
Yeah, so we have a lot of different use cases. So clearly, our customers definitely want to monitor the safety of their trucks, and part of that is making sure the drivers are operating the trucks in a very safe manner. So as an example of that, we have solutions where we can look at, there's onboard video, whether it's video inside the cab or video outside the cab facing the road, where we can look at what's happening with that truck. And our customers are obviously interested in making sure that they have a way to understand when the truck has had let's say, a severe braking incident or an accident, what happened there. So that's a record of that accident, but also it's a coaching opportunity to make sure that the fleets can then go back and coach the drivers. So, and we're enabling some of those. As a truck OEM, we don't know the driver's identity, and we certainly are not part of the knowledge of who's driving the truck. What we do is we enable the data coming off the truck so that our customers can then put two and two together and figure out, okay, on this particular date and this particular time, driver A, B, or C was driving the truck, and this is an incident that happened. And so that's kind of the way we look at it, because we want to certainly enable our customers to use the technology to however they want to run their business, and enable that extra efficiency or safety for them.
So a severe braking incident is a big red flag, I imagine, in a truck, and that would be an immediate alarm, I guess.
Definitely. So I mean, again, what we have is a way to look at the different incidents that happen, and the advantage that we have is, as a truck OEM, we're using the same safety systems, the same logic on the truck to drive some of those safety systems. And what we do is we allow our customers to use that data to make a decision and really categorize for themselves what is a critical event that they want to monitor. And as an example, one of the services we have is, with our level 2 autonomous or automated truck, we have the ability, we have a camera on board. And normally we're using the camera to drive the truck between the lines, but we're also using the same camera and the onboard telematics to send a video to our customers whenever there is an incident, a safety incident, as we just talked about. So if there is a severe braking incident, we can capture that, 15 seconds or 30 seconds before to 30 seconds after. And that event is then sent in almost real time, within a couple of minutes after that incident, to our customer. They can look at it and decide how they want to treat that, and then they can tag that event, and as I mentioned, use that to go back and improve the safety of the trucks or the safety of the drivers. So that's kind of the way we approach it. As a truck OEM, we want to offer our customers the chance and the ability to seamlessly leverage the technology we have on board on the truck and have a digital companion available to them, so they can take that same information and have it available in their back end in their offices, so they can then decide for themselves how to use that information.
Yeah, sure. Where do you think Daimler Freightliner is in the competitive universe for connected trucks? Who's up there with you, and what's the race look like?
Yeah, we do see this common trend now. In the old days, old days meaning again 5-6 years ago, we had a lot of third-party companies in this space, telematics companies with their own hardware. And that's one of the pain points our customers told us that, look, we get the truck from you, and then we have to install all these third-party devices, these IoT devices, whether it's a GPS or a camera or a trailer tracking unit or whatever it is. And all of these pieces of hardware come with their own data plans and their own services. And that's where we started to integrate all of that onto the truck. And that's where the connectivity platform is heading for us. And we see that a lot of the other truck OEMs are also doing the same thing, kind of taking those pieces of hardware and bringing them onto the truck, and so that it's delivered from the factory. We like to think that we are leading the game here a little bit in terms of the technology to bring that built-in connectivity to our customers. But certainly all of our competitors are also in the game and certainly looking at the same picture ahead. And again, that's important for us because not only can we then provide those telematic solutions, those solutions to our customers today, as I mentioned, that same architecture in the truck, that connectivity and the connected truck architecture can then power solutions in the future when we have even more automated trucks running on the roads.
When people talk about self-driving vehicles, they think of Tesla, and Tesla's, getting into the truck market. Do you feel the heat from some of those electric truck companies?
Well, definitely. I mean, there's always, and Tesla has caught the imagination of everyone, and clearly has impacted not only the car industry but the truck industry as well. And we certainly recognize that we need to learn and need to move forward. But having said that, we've also made a lot of progress in the past few years with our e-trucks. I mean, just yesterday there was an announcement regarding a charging station that we're installing on Swan Island. So we certainly feel that we are in a good position to continue to develop our trucks and the technology in that space as well.
How long do you think it'll be, or will it ever be, that there are fully automated trucks driving down the roads without drivers?
Well, that's a good question. If I knew the answer to that, I probably would be doing something else right now. No, but I would say that I think clearly for trucks, the first use case is on the highway, right? Because if you can imagine, the easiest technical problem to solve for is when the truck is driving between exits on the freeway, because that's the most, let's say, controlled environment. And certainly, there are the technology itself is moving quite fast, but as we know, it's not the only thing. There needs to be the regulatory framework in place and acceptance by all of us to live with the autonomous vehicles on the road. So the technology itself is not that far away. Whether it's going to be 5 years or 10 years from now, it's anyone's guess.
Sure. What are we looking at in terms of cost savings to fleets from having these advancements?
Well, certainly, all of these technologies, whether it's a connected truck, autonomous truck, or an e-truck, if you will, all of them have different set of economics for our customers. And the common theme is they all deliver some value additional to what we have today. And you can imagine, obviously, with a connected truck, there are a lot of savings for our customers of being able to reduce the downtime, because each hour of downtime a customer avoids, that's hundreds of dollars of time and money that they save. And therefore, it's critical for us as we look at the efficiencies, and those cost savings come in different areas, whether it's improving the uptime of our trucks, improving the asset utilization of our trucks for our customers, or in improving the fuel efficiency, or in the case of e-mobility, eliminating some of those costs entirely. So each of those technologies has a great potential to drive a lot more value for our customers in the future. And that's what's exciting. A lot of these technologies in automotive space certainly are very interesting and exciting, but in the truck space, they have a clear value proposition, a clear benefit to our customers that it can be measured in dollars and cents.
It wasn't so long ago, was it, that like the challenge of running a trucking company in part was knowing where your trucks were? Isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm sure, many years ago, that was the fundamental challenge, and a lot of that is being solved for today clearly with GPS, clearly with all these connected trucks, the smart trucks. The example I was talking about in terms of the fault codes, that's just one example of how far we've come. And now with real-time tracking of our trucks, and we have that also in our connected trucks, we know exactly where a truck is within the last minute. And that's obviously that's information that our fleet customers use every day now, and that's built into a lot of the logistics software that they use to optimize the routes. And it's not just, it's like a multivariate problem. You're optimizing the route not only for the truck, but also for the driver to make sure that the driver has enough hours of service left to be able to operate that truck. And all of that is really driving efficiency in the logistics supply chain.
So the data that's collected from these trucks and fleets is going to become more and more valuable with every year. As the data builds up, who owns the data in this case?
For us, it's very simple. Our customers own the data. We clearly have very strong terms and conditions, and we are, obviously, being a traditional truck company, we're very careful about that. We have very strong terms and conditions with our customers, and we don't use that information unless we have the permission of our customers to use that data, whether it's for internal use or for powering other applications. And then you're right, we are collecting a lot of data. I mean, we have already in the last 3 years, we built up a fleet of 250,000 trucks running around the country, sending us data every second, every minute. And that's a lot of data. We have 100 million plus messages coming back to us every single day. And so it's important for us to manage that data very wisely and well. And that's a fundamental question that a lot of our customers ask us, both in terms of data security and data privacy. And we're very careful on both of those topics to make sure that, as I mentioned, we have our customers' best interest in mind when we use and deploy these technologies.
To what extent are your customers mining this data to make their operations better?
We are working on that front as well, because once you have all this data coming back, we are working jointly with our customers to improve the predictability of, for example, predictive maintenance, right? The predictability of repairs. As I mentioned, we started talking about fault codes, and now what we're talking about is, can we predict if a system is going to fail based on the real-time readings from the truck? And we're seeing that. We're at the very early stages of that, and we have some good examples of that, and we're working jointly, collaborating with our customers to create these solutions, which is built on top of the connected truck data, to be able to predict if a system, an after-treatment system, a sensor is about to fail. And this is where we're headed next, because the whole idea is to be able to predict a failure, to convert an unplanned downtime event into a planned scheduled service event. And that's really where the value comes in. So I would say I have not seen a real pinpoint accurate predictive model yet, but we're getting so much better at being able to say, yep, you should take this truck offline in the next week or 10 days, because most likely, a component or a system is likely to cause downtime. So take a proactive action, take it into the service shop and get it taken care of. And that's where we're headed more and more as we move forward with not only the data, but really building that the big data competency within the company to be able to use that data and make these predictions.
It would be fascinating to see how the data varies from state to state on, say, driver behavior, road conditions, wear and tear. I'm just imagining that there must be variation from, north to south, climate, and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, again, big data is another huge area which is opens up on top of the connected truck platform that we built. So a couple of examples: a lot of our customers, large fleet customers, are using this data to exactly map out the differences in their fleet behavior. Where are they getting higher efficiencies and lower efficiencies? Obviously, a lot of different variables that go into that. But being able to visualize that and being able to create models based on the real-time streaming data really helps in deploying their assets more effectively. And yes, we see that there's a huge, rich work stream of projects underway right now with our customers. So our role in that is to be able to enable that. Again, like I said, co-create some of those solutions, and then really allow our customers, especially those large, sophisticated logistics companies, to be able to visualize that data and start to make some different decisions around how they use those assets, those trucks in their fleet. But you're absolutely right. I mean, there's no end to it. I think that the challenge for us, for everyone, is there's so much data coming at us, so much of that information. How do you actually prioritize where you want to look? What are the areas you want to be looking at, and what makes the most sense? Where is the greatest value? And frankly, this is a little bit like, once you have the data in front of our customers, they ask even more questions, and some of the questions didn't even come up before. So it's a little bit of that iterative process, and we're learning as well. As a traditional manufacturing company, we're learning how to interact differently with our customers as well. And it's a lot more about joint co-creation, especially with our large sophisticated customers, and really figuring out not only how do we sell a truck, but then how do we add value beyond that by providing these insights.
So I have to ask, because this is TechFest, are you seeing entrepreneurial energy come into the truck market from startups who are interested in, both the operations and the data here?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been an ongoing process for a while. We are involved in quite a few startups. We made an announcement with an investment into platform science a few months ago, and we were looking at quite a few other companies. So this is pretty exciting times. I mean, at least in my lifetime, the last few years has been really exciting to see so much energy and passion and money flowing into the freight tech industry. And obviously a lot of that is around the data and around these applications that we talked about. So it's really exciting. And for us, it's also important that we partner with some of these companies to get the best and brightest ideas on the table. And then also we get the best and brightest people to come and work for us and actually work on these cool new ideas.
How's that going? How's the talent acquisition going?
It's good. I mean, obviously being in Portland and a Portland-based company, we're proud, as you mentioned, that our company started here. So it's exciting for us to be here because Portland obviously is a great hub for tech. And of course, we're always reaching out and talking a little bit more about our company, because traditionally the Freightliner was looked at as the hardware company making trucks. And then, as we see in the future, we're much more about software, and whether it's a connected truck, autonomous truck, electric truck, it's all about the software. And so it's great and exciting to see a lot more talent coming in. And then we're focusing on and recruiting more and more of that talent within the company as well. But it's a great time to be in Portland, and it's a great time to be in this industry.
So even the trucking and software is even a trucking company is becoming a software company these days.
Absolutely. I mean, both the truck making companies and our fleet customers are absolutely software is key. Software is king. And as you know, I mean, everything you've seen around in the last few, I mean, this pandemic is a good example, right? Our customers have adapted so well, and they were able to adapt so well in moving goods around because of software, because of the algorithms, because of big data and the tools they have in place. And of course, the people as well.
So how many sensors are there on a connected truck now? It must just be loaded.
Yeah, I mean, there are literally hundreds of sensors on our trucks. And what we're doing is basically now allowing each of those sensors to be able to stream its state, its data in real time to us, and to be able to use that through the connected to our connectivity truck platform. Again, there's so much data coming off the trucks that we have to decide which data we want to collect and in what interval and what frequency. So it's an absolutely amazing advancement that we're making. And as the architecture of the truck evolves, there'll be even more and more sensors on the truck that we will be leveraging to understand what's going on with the truck.
What's happening with prices for trucks now that they're loaded with these electronics?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, as you look at the technology which is on the truck, on one hand, of course, with some of the technologies that we've implemented over the last few years, the cost of the truck has gone up because of obviously emissions is one area. But on the other hand, with greater technology on our trucks, some of these sensors, some of these pieces of hardware put on the truck actually improve the safety, improve the efficiency. So it's no longer as much about the cost; it's about what is a total cost of ownership of the truck, or in terms of operating the truck. So while while we're adding more elements to the truck, we're also reducing the overall life cycle cost of the truck as well. So I think that's the way our customers look at it. And these are technologies which help our customers operate their trucks more efficiently. So they look at that entire equation.
How much are truck buyers updating their fleets more as a result of this?
Well, I think
technology.
Yeah, it's interesting. The hardware cycles for trucks typically are longer, obviously, than software, and so it's interesting to see that some of our customers do want to move to the next truck because of the next level of technology which is already available, whether it's the next generation of cameras or the next generation of automated driving features that are available, or safety features. So yeah, we do see that accelerating in terms of the buying cycles as we go forward, and that's part of the the calculus all of our customers make, and not only looking at the hardware, but also the features that come on board. And it's also more critical for us as we go forward to implement features over the air, as we talked about earlier. So we bring some of those features to our customers without having to change the hardware or the truck.
That's great.
And I think that's where we're headed as well, to bring more value to our customers from that perspective.
Excellent. Well, they're telling me that we're out of time, but this has been super interesting. Thank you so much for your time, Sanjiv.
No, thank you. A great discussion.
We'll be watching this space closely, as will, I think, a lot of entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and I should make one more plug for our company in Portland. Glad to be here, part of TechFest Northwest, and proud to be a homegrown company.
You bet.